Now, over here, Dan, still on Houston Street and not very far from the Rowlands, was Mrs. Carolyn Walthers. Mrs. Walthers says that she saw two men with a gun in the book depository.
I looked at this building and I saw this man with the gun, and there was another man standing to his right, and I could not see all of this man, and I couldn't see his face. And the other man was holding a short gun. It wasn't as long as a rifle, and he was holding it pointed down, and he was kneeling in the window or sitting. His arms were on the window, and he was holding the gun in a downward position, and he was looking downward.
About what floor would you say these two men were on that you saw in the window?
The first statement that I made, I said the man was on the 4th or the 5th floor, and I still feel the same way. He was just about in a window that was just about even with the top of that tree. I thought the man had light hair or brown and was wearing a white shirt. But I explained to the FBI agents that I wasn't sure about that. That was my impression. I'm thinking about it later, that I thought that was the way the man was dressed.
Now, what about this other man who was in the window?
This other man was wearing a brown suit, and that was all I could see was half of this man's body, from his shoulders to his hips.
Mrs. Carolyn Walthers had an unobstructed view of the Texas School Book Depository from 1 block away. She has never told her story to anyone but the FBI.
Well, I saw this man in the window, and he had a gun in his hands pointed downward. The man evidently was in a kneeling position because his forearms were resting on the window sill. There was another man standing beside him, but I only saw a portion of his body because he was standing partly against behind the window, only halfway in the window. And the window was dirty and I couldn't see his face up above, well, where the window was pushed up. And it startled me, and then I thought, well, they probably have guards, possibly in all the buildings. So I didn't say anything. And just right away, someone said, "Here they come." And I heard one shot, and I thought at the time that the first shot was a firecracker. And after the last car passed me, I started walking back to work. And I had reached the curb, and 2 more shots. And then 2 seconds later, one more that wasn't as loud as the others. But the second and third shot were right together. And then I thought, oh, it's gunshot. And I turned and started back up Elm Street. And a woman looked at me and pointed at this building. And she said, "He is in that building."